Hi everyone, Sully here from Black Ops Toys, coming at you today with part 3 in the build process in the Jameson Deathridge figure, the remastered version. This is the 416. This is probably one of the coolest weapons that I've seen ENS make. Does have a folding stock, does lay really flat, lines are straight, huge muzzle brake, really good looking. I'm going to show you how I put these together. Now, I don't oftentimes recommend using glue. This is not your best friend, especially when you're using parts that are breakable. On some of these items, I will use a tiny bit, just on the rail segments and maybe the foregrip, okay? In the optics and the other stuff, I'm gonna use glue dots. These are not permanent. This is more permanent, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my picture here on my rifle, maybe. There we go. Tack light. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on this. First thing I'm gonna do is lay out the top optic. You can see it just slides on that rail there, like that. If you have some friction, then it's not gonna move. Then you don't need to glue dot it or anything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on this laser. Front, 3 little divots. Back. Front. Back. I'm gonna throw that on there like that. That slides off a tiny bit. I'm gonna go ahead and just secure that so I don't lose it when transporting the figure. I'm just cutting the glue dot basically in half on the paper. I just need a tiny bit. Rip that off. I'm gonna throw that on the bottom down here. And it's just enough to gum it up. That's all it is. You won't be able to see it. Now that's not going anywhere. All right, next we're gonna do the light on the inside, and you can see it has these little rail segments. So this light is interesting. It only goes on one way, okay? So we're gonna put the rail segment on. Then you push this in there and it's got a stop on the back, okay? Stop won't go anywhere. So I'm gonna glue this segment down on the rifle. Not a ton, tiny little paintbrush. Tiny bit. That way it's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to come in with the light. We're going to go forward. Looks really good. Next, I'm going to do the foregrip. And that clicks in. That clicks in pretty good. Still, it's a really tiny part, and there is a little bit of give there. You can see it's got 2 little arms there, little teeth, and they're going to go around that section. Like that. So we're gonna put the grip on here, so we're gonna want to secure that a tiny bit. Too much. Wiping some of the excess off. Normally I'd have a cloth towel or post-it note or something, just removing the excess. Looks really straight. Okay. Next, suppressor. So this should, in theory, go on and then push. You want to be careful. And it actually tightens with this, like you screw it. So you just want to be really careful that you don't break anything. Line it up so it's straight. Like that. And that shouldn't go anywhere. No glue dot. Just want to make sure it looks good on camera. So, real easy. And then you do have a sling mount, which is right here. Male and a female right there. And you could go either side, depending on if he's left or right-handed. I'm going to put it on the right side now. There we go. And that is rifle number 1. You can switch it to the 60 round magazine if you want to. These come out a tiny bit easy, so just to keep that in there, I'm going to use a tiny bit of glue dot again. We're just gumming it up. That's all we're doing. Little tricks of the trade. So that is the 416. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this last rail segment. Okay. So that's done. Alright, so let's do the MP7. So lots of different ways you can set this up. It's going to be holstered, so we're not going to have all the gear on it when we set it up on the figure, but we'll set it up. And basically you can put in a larger magazine with the drum. That's super, super cool. Comes with standard magazines as well. Do have a foregrip. So this stock right here is to allow you to cheek or to shoulder that with the gas mask on. That's why it looks like that, if people are wondering. All right, let's go ahead and throw these parts on real quick. So, Huey, red dot, holographic. It's going to sit up there. We do have a little bit of movement there. So I'm just going to gum that up. Because I'm going to push it a long way, I'm going to do it just where I want it on the MP7. Just going to run that up. The other thing I'm going to double check. Make sure that doesn't block anything there. foregrip. Do have a little bit of play there. Same procedure. Light. We're going to go on this side. And the cool thing about this is if you have other types of weapons, accessories, you can put them on pretty much anything with the rail. So if you have a bunch sitting in a drawer somewhere, you can customize these, which is great. So this right here is your pressure switch, and it's got a little sticky tab on the back. Just looking where they put that. Because you want it to make sense, right? So we're going to tack that right there. The light has a tiny bit of movement. I'm just going to do the same rinse and repeat process. We just want to build these so they're not going to fall apart. Making sure it's straight, looks good. We're trying to minimize that cord sticking out everywhere. The sticky pads aren't very good on those types of things, so you may need to glue dot that at some point. But that'll keep it out of the way. Suppressor. Once we put this on the figure and he's holding it, then we'd want all this gear on there. But if we're going to stow it, we're going to take off a couple pieces. But this is your final MP7. Really nice secondary. You can see that bolt move right there. Cool. If you like this video and you want to see more of them, make sure that you follow, like, subscribe, and share. And stay tuned for more exciting content like these guns.